What's happening, people? It's your girl Mina. Welcome back to the channel. You already know what it is. Big up to everyone locked in on this, I would say, wonderful Monday. Not really much that's wonderful about it, but be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe if you are new here. We're not that far off from 7k, and then you know what it is, man. It's the road to 10k. So if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. You know the rules, man. You know the house rules. You come in, you wipe your feet, you say hi to everyone in the chat, and then you get involved in the conversation. The pinned comment in the chat is my nomination for a football content award. I've been nominated as best new content creator this year in the FCA. So if you go to the best new content creator category, you can vote for me. Click Mina Ibrahim, press vote. You can vote more than once, so make sure you vote as well. If you want to join the membership club, you can. It's in the bio, the description of this video. You get your badges, your emojis, your custom member content, and of course you get to support the growth of the channel. And if you want to support the channel in other ways, you can by sending in super chats with your comments, with your questions, with your thoughts, or just to show some love to the channel. Lil Yo saying, I'm still mad, bro. I heard you went to the game. I'm very sorry about that. I'm not really, actually, because I had to endure going to Liverpool at home. So if I had to endure that, I'm glad you had to endure that as well. Not gonna lie, I was actually going to go to the game, but just some other stuff came up for me over the day or two before the game. So I thought, you know what, let me not. And you know what, I'm not mad about missing the game. I'm not mad one bit. I would have been even madder, and I probably would have got sick because it was raining so much. But we got a lot to talk about, of course. It's 24 hours after that game. And it's still a lot to digest. I can't lie. I woke up so rattled this morning. Eric Ten Hag was the first thing on my mind. I know that sounds weird, but I just I couldn't fathom the fact that Manchester United played a man-to-man press with 10 men. I could not believe that. We're going to talk about the game, of course. You don't know I did the stream after the game yesterday, in a state of mind, and then I dropped a 5 in 5. But we're still going to talk about the game briefly as well, for just to put some context, I guess, into everything. And of course, cash money, guys. Manchester United lose. News about Eric Ten Hag losing his job just comes out immediately. There's so much news out there right now. I'm seeing Graham Potter, I'm seeing Southgate, I'm seeing Inzaghi, I'm seeing Rude. I'm seeing so much stuff right now. And of course, all the reporters really want to be the first to kind of break the news. So we're going to talk about that as well. But be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe as well. 1 out of the last 10 European games, but it's just a process. It's crazy. It's actually quite crazy when you put it like that. I haven't had the chance to speak to Marcel. I did message him earlier today. I ain't heard back from him, but I know that he's been saying stuff online about if it has to be anyone, then let it be Nagelsmann. I'm telling you guys, when it's that bad that the biggest defender of Eric Ten Hag has jumped ship, you know it's not good. It is not looking good. I think people have realized that there's no possible way to defend this situation right now under Eric Ten Hag. It's not just, I think, of course, the losses are a thing, but it's even the manner in which Manchester United are losing. Excuse me, it's the manner in which they're conceding goals. It's the inability for them to even score goals. I saw a pass map of Manchester United's first half, and it left me traumatized. We're going to talk about that as well, but let's actually start with the news. Let's start with the news that's already, flying around easily. The first thing coming out from Ben Jacobs saying that Manchester United, if they sack Eric Ten Hag, will look to appoint a more experienced manager than Ruud van Nistelrooy. So I think Ruud van Nistelrooy will continue to be sitting in the dugout as an assistant. Maybe he is the future plan, but they're saying, if Manchester United look to part ways, it could be for him. Now, a name that has popped up, it's like, I don't know, man. Gareth Southgate and Graham Potter would both likely be candidates for Manchester United job if Eric Ten Hag was to be sacked. There are people that are not potentially going to be candidates in that situation. That includes people that were historically candidates, so Poch, Tuchel, Roberto De Zerbi. They are probably not going to be candidates, but 2 names that have popped up, and a third one as well is Inzaghi. Those are the 3 names that have popped up potentially if Manchester United look to get rid of Eric Ten Hag. Now, if they go from Eric Ten Hag to Gareth Southgate, I don't know. I swear, Ineos, at that point, I will really question what Ineos are on, because for me, Southgate that's a no-go zone. That is an absolute no-go zone. But let's talk about Eric Ten Hag. I don't really want to focus on who could be the manager if he gets sacked, But I want to focus more so on the Erik ten Hag situation and where it kind of lies right now. Now, Manchester United would have to fork out £17.5 million to get rid of Erik ten Hag. And guys, this is why I said a couple of weeks ago, I don't know if you lot remember, but I did a stream about Manchester United's financial results when it was announced for the financial year. And I said that looking at these results and the fact that they made such a huge loss, this is obviously taking into consideration things that are not deducted after the financial year. So, you know, the cost of the women's team, the academy, R&D, etc., etc. All of that is not subject to FFP. But even taking all of that stuff into consideration, I said that Manchester United financially could not afford to part ways with Erik ten Hag in the summer. So yes, it was masked as this new contract extension. It wasn't really a contract extension. We all know that it was literally just his 1 year triggered. But Manchester United could not afford to sack Erik ten Hag. And I think that is the biggest thing for us to understand. He kept his job on a technicality. If we really want to be honest, he kept his job on a technicality. It wasn't because there were better candidates or he was the best candidate out of all of them. It was because Manchester, and this is my theory, by the way. Excuse me, guys. This is my theory because reports are coming out that is 17.5 million, which is what I approximated it for to be. I thought it would be around 14 million. So it's 17.5 million to get rid of Erik ten Hag. And I said that the reason why Man United did not part ways with him in the summer was because from an FFP perspective, they couldn't afford to. However, this financial year, they are probably more aligned and in a better place financially in this financial year to part ways with him if that occurs or if that necessity arises. Last year, I just don't think they could have done it. And it's kind of confirmed. There's reportedly a growing acceptance at Manchester United that Erik ten Hag is under severe pressure ahead of two of the probably biggest games of his career now. You know, this guy played a semi-final game for Ajax in the Champions League, but somehow this could possibly be the biggest games of his career because I think this is do or die for Erik ten Hag. Porto away midweek. When is that? Is that Wednesday or Thursday, guys? Someone let me know. Porto away midweek and then Aston Villa on Sunday. That is literally do or die for Erik ten Hag. If Erik ten Hag doesn't, and the worst thing is actually for Erik ten Hag, they're both games on the road. Now, if we want to go off of statistics and we want to go off of data, statistically, Manchester United do not perform well away from home under Erik ten Hag. So it is I think it's really peak for Erik ten Hag that he has to go away from home twice in a row to save his job. Do you guys think he survives it? It's on Thursday. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to watch that game on the go. Do you guys think he's gonna survive this? Because it's reported as well that he's on thin ice and that a lot of people senior in Manchester United have lost patience with him. Now, if you remember a couple of weeks back, Omar Barada and Dan Ashworth did an interview with The Athletic. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I spoke about it in a stream and I said, listen, the way that they were talking about Erik ten Hag, it looked like they were trying to distance themselves from the decision that they were made. So I think it was Adam Crafton did the interview. I can't remember who it was. Someone from The Athletic did the interview. And they asked Omar Barada and Dan Ashworth if they were involved in the decision to keep Erik ten Hag and if they're happy with that decision. They didn't answer the question. They didn't say, yeah, we're happy. But they said, the decision was made before we came into our roles at Manchester United. If you guys remember, the decision was made, I think, beginning of July and then mid-ish July is when both of them came into their roles. So they just said the decision was made before us. Who made the decision? Brailsford, Jim Ratcliffe, Blanc. Those were the people that made the decision because the real decision makers were not in the role or in their role at the time. Big up to Lil Yo said, dude, I'm still mad the drive was trash back home. Listen, in that weather as well, trust me, bro, we all been there, man. We all been there once or twice. It does seem like at Manchester United, it's not looking good. That's the only way I could put it. It does not look good for Erik ten Hag for me. It does not look good. And I said this, I don't know if you lot remember, coming into September, I said this was a big month for Erik ten Hag because I said October was going to be an absolute shitstorm of a month in terms of the games that Manchester United had. I said that Spurs has to be a win. I said that Palace had to be a win. I said that Manchester United had to gain some sort of momentum going into this month of October, and it looks like it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. Same narrative, Mina. City and Brighton beat us home and away. What's this big games talk? What big game talk is this? Isn't City and small clubs beating us away enough? Man United losing away point blank is embarrassing. To me, it's literally that is point blank embarrassing. But what is equally as embarrassing is this pass map in the first half of yesterday's game. Look at that pass map, guys. Look at that pass map. Most of the passes are in Manchester United's own half. But even if you look at the passes in the opponent's side, look at that central space. That central space is nothing. I mean, there's barely any passes going to the left and the right anyways, going out wide. But this is the pass map for Manchester United yesterday. This is what the pass map looked like in the first half. Which is, to be honest, I felt like the first half Man United were mainly chasing shadows throughout most of the game. This is the pass map of a bunch of losers. Pyramid scheme, tell us how you really feel. Mina, I casually said I'll give him the first 10 games and his whole career is hanging in the balance. It's so ironic. I don't think you can give, like, you can say I'll give 10 games, 15 games. I feel like when you see what the consensus is, I think that's when you like form your opinion. And this whole thing that people can't change their opinions is crazy. Like, guys, it's completely normal to change your opinion. If you were once Ten Hag in and you're now Ten Hag out, that's fine. It just means that with new evidence presented to you, you have changed your opinion. That's what life is about. Don't let anyone shame you into changing your opinion and saying you're a flip-flop, you're a flip-flop. The problem is when people try to force their opinion onto you. Like, I like it when people come to a realization by themselves. And you know what's so funny? The funniest thing is, shout out to KG. Me and KG were on the phone on Friday. We were talking about just United stuff and all of that. And I said to him, bro, you need to stop enforcing your opinions on people or trying to force your opinions on people. And then you get angry when people don't conform to your opinion. And then you shame us. And he said to me, what do I need to do, Mina? Like, people think that Ten Hag can do no wrong. I said, you need to criticize him. I said, you need to criticize. You don't criticize him and you don't do it in an honest way. Lo and behold, the next van view that he did was saying, yeah, it's the end of the road for Erik Ten Hag. I didn't tell him to say that, but obviously new evidence has, I wouldn't say new evidence, but evidence has now presented itself to people that is making them change their opinion. And that is fine. Can we not kind of force people to say that they can't change their opinion? They can. I was once Ten Hag in, I was once Ten Hag out. And then this whole season I've been like, you know what? Ten Hag needs to just prove that he deserves to stay in the job. You lot already knew my stance when he got his contract extension. I thought it was a whole bullshit of a message that was shared with the fan base about a contract renewal. It wasn't a contract renewal. I said it all the time. I said Man United couldn't afford to get rid of him. I even said during the transfer window that I felt like this was not players that they were signing for the manager, because it's players that the manager clearly doesn't even want. But equally so, I don't get how after yesterday's game, people can look at the players and still blame the players. There's a good episode about it as well on the Talk of the Devils podcast, where this is from last year, talking about Erik Ten Hag's intensity and the requests that he has from his players and how realistic or unrealistic, in this case, that his expectations are from his players to try and implement his system. And yesterday just further highlighted that. It's not that Manchester United players are unfit. 3 minutes into the game, why is Diogo Dalot at left wing? Can someone tell that? Can someone explain that to me? Diogo Dalot was so advanced. And I got onto Diogo Dalot because I said, look at him tracking back like a loser. The guy was walking back. But even so, his starting position when Man United are in possession should not be so far forward. Like, what is this business of having a left back as a left winger? And it happened twice during the game. And both of them led to goals, by the way, guys. Can I just say that? Both of it led to goals. One of it was the Brennan Johnson goal, and the second one was the Kulusevski goal, which both points, Diogo Dalot is at left wing, both times. And for me, that is not a player deciding to do that. That is not, for me, I don't think that's a decision from the player that just decides to vacate his space. Clearly, Manchester United are instructed to push high, especially when they're in this 3-2-5. And when they do play 3-2-5 in particular, the biggest thing that is highlighted to me is that it's like a staggered line on the final line of defense, which means there's no movement in behind. So what happens? Andre Onana just goes long. Or Lisandro Martinez just goes long. People just go long all the time. We brought a goalkeeper to play out from the back, We brought a centre-back who's apparently good at playing out from the back. And Man United just revert to just going long every single time. And then people want to talk to me about, oh, when we go long, Marcel said to me, when we go long, the aim is to win the second ball. Why do we need to aim to win the second ball? Why are we giving away the first ball in the first place? Why are we doing that? It's like me saying, it's like Usain Bolt being in a 100-meter sprint. And when it gets to 50 meters, when everyone is at 50 meters, he decides to lead the blocks. And he's saying that the goal is for me to recover all that space and win the race. It makes no sense. Just start when everyone else starts. And the same for me is applicable to this logic of winning second balls, and winning the second ball is the goal. Why do we need to go long and win the second ball? 9 times out of 10, United are not going to win the second ball. It doesn't happen. Manchester United don't have players that are aerially that great. They don't have forwards that can get high in the air. You're coming up against people like Mark Gahey and flipping, Anderson at Fulham. People that can win aerial duels. Do you think Joshua Zirkzee is winning that? Do you think Rasmus Højlund's winning that? In the second half, guys, can I just say? In the second half, I saw Matthijs de Ligt get into better positions than Rasmus Højlund. And this is no criticism to Rasmus Højlund, but equally, this is just me highlighting that even Rasmus Højlund is going to fail and fail and fail in the system. We literally can lose a draw and it leads to a goal all the time. Cash money. It's guaranteed. If Man United are in a 1v1 draw for a second ball, yeah, Man United are losing that. And 8 times out of 10 is leading to a chance at goal. Yesterday, Spurs had 9 big chances and it was only 3-0. Why? Because Timo Werner was Manchester United's best player. I say this time and time again. Timo Werner was Manchester United's best player because anybody else on that side, Son would have walked away with a hat-trick. Son would have walked away with a hat-trick of goals or a hat-trick of assists. Timo Werner, he literally is missing a brain, which it worked out for Manchester United yesterday. Big up to OJ. This man has tried the system for 3 seasons. It's never worked. Eric has had a style of play since he got to United. The style of play is just shit. We always end up abandoning it. This is the thing, right? People always say, no, but there's no style of play. There is a style of play. It's just not working. And when it's not working, what would you rather? That you persist with it and hope that it eventually starts working? Or do you just abandon it and try something new? I'd rather United abandon it. I wouldn't be mad today if Eric Ten Hag turned around and said, because when Eric Ten Hag speaks in press conferences, right, and he speaks about his system, he talks about it needing to be perfect for it to succeed. Nobody's perfect. Nothing's perfect. And then nothing's perfect in this world. Nothing is perfect in this world. So if your system requires 100% accuracy, 100% perfection, then that is a system that is flawed. That is a system that is flawed and it's not going to work. If you're telling me that your system is very rigid and there's no kind of room to maneuver, that is a failing system. Because when it doesn't work, you have nowhere to move. You have nowhere to move. And that is why I say I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad if Eric Ten Hag turned around today and said, you know what? This system that I'm trying and I've been trying to do, it's not working. Stop blaming the players and saying, I need the players to do it. I need Frankie de Jong. I need this person. I need de Ligt. I need Onana. I need Lisandro Martinez to come back from injury. I need a left-footed right winger in Anthony. Stop saying that you need this to basically do it. You know what this reminds me of, guys? Do you know, are any of you guys from Africa? Are any of you guys from Africa? Let me know if you're from Africa or you're from any ethnic country. Has your family ever built a house in your home country? Please let me know if your family has ever built. Just say yes in the chat if your family has ever built a house in your home country, yeah? Especially living in the West. You send money back to your family, yeah? They're building your house on your land, yeah? And every 6 months they're saying, oh, we need more money. We need more money. We need to buy more materials. We need to buy more materials. And you're thinking, what? I've sent you 50K over the last 2 years to build my house, yeah? And you finally go back home to your country and the land's still there. There's no house built. You've been scammed. You've been scammed. This is how I feel about this situation with Manchester United right now. This is how I feel. Every time Eric Ten Hag is talking about, I need the players, I need this and that. It's the same way as my relatives back home saying, oh, we need to buy materials. Oh, we need to pay the tax on the land. We need to pay the VAT. We need to pay this. We need to pay that. And you're sending the money and then the taxman's still on your back for not paying the tax on your land. And you're thinking, what? I just sent the money to my uncle last week. He told me he didn't pay. He scammed me. It's the same thing. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about because this happens all the time. I've been building a house back home for ages. It's still not finished. My dad's been building the house since I was 8. Trust me, this is the best way that I can honestly describe how I feel about this situation with Manchester United. Because that's how I feel with Eric Ten Hag. I'll honestly take Southgate over Ten Hag right now. Come on, guys, let's not do this. Let's not do this. Delgray says, Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. But this is how I feel about Eric Ten Hag. And I don't know if there's anyone in the chat that believes that Eric Ten Hag's way can work, please let me know. Because I don't think I actually know anyone that fully believes that Eric Ten Hag's way of football with this current crop of players. Because let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest. I actually saw this. Who posted it? I think it was Lias that posted it. Let me see if I can get... Here it is. Big up to Lias for this. Oh, no, it wasn't him. Someone else. It was someone else's edit. But this is Manchester United's team. This is Manchester United's team, right? Green was either signed or a debutant under Eric Ten Hag. Red, sorry, I'm colorblind, clearly. Red was signed or debuted under Ollie. Orange was signed or debuted under Louis van Gaal. And yellow was signed or debuted under Jose. Guys, look at this. Half of the team is Eric Ten Hag's guys. Half of the team is, and this is again why I don't understand this notion that once he gets his players, once he's backed, once he gets the central midfielder he wants, or this that he wants, or that he wants, that he needs another 600 million. Man United have spent 616 million. Look how much of this. The only player that's still there under Jose, that's Jose signed, yeah, is Diogo Dalot and Lindelof. Lindelof is on his way out. Lindelof is going to leave at the end of the season. The only people still there that were under Louis van Gaal, Marcus Rashford, Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw, we already know where he stands. Under Ollie, Tom Heaton, the guy don't play, Bruno Fernandes, Diallo, Maguire. Everybody else in this team, not only did they get signed by Eric Ten Hag or came through the academy into the first team as a result from Ten Hag, some of them have even been given new contracts under Eric Ten Hag. Marcus Rashford, new contract. Diogo Dalot, new contract. Bruno Fernandes, new contract and captaincy. He was awarded captaincy. Imagine that. So this idea that Eric Ten Hag doesn't have the players that he has, that he needs, for me, is just a cop-out. It's just a cop-out. And yesterday, look who was in attendance. You lot are probably thinking, who are we looking at? We're looking at this row here, guys. They look pissed. And you know what? If Sabdays Bradford was part of the committee that made the decision to keep Eric Ten Hag, shame. I don't feel bad for you. Omar Barada, Dan Ashworth, alright, cool. You lot are adamant that you weren't part of the decision making for him. Okay, cool. But the ones that were part of the decision making and still found a way to keep him. And I was having this talk. One of my friends, shout out to my friend, who she's a Real Madrid fan, and she was basically messaging me talking about during the game, saying, "Yo, like, what is wrong with Man United? Like, Real Madrid would never do this. If that was Carlo Ancelotti, or Carlo Ancelotti actually has a lot of legs to stand on because he's won so much with them. But she was like, if that was any manager at Real Madrid who's been losing the way that they've been losing in the last 12 months and got humiliated in the Champions League, she was like, forget the ownership. The fans would have sacked the manager by half-time. And I absolutely agree. The standards at Manchester United to keep Eric Ten Hag, despite the fact of what has happened in the last 18 months, is ridiculous. Thank you, Zahid. Salam alaikum wa alaikum salam. I hope you're doing well. Eric Ten Hag made average players like Hala, Tadic, etc. look world-class at Ajax, but looked ordinary after leaving Ajax for big transfers. Why is this? Why do you think this is that he made... Because I see this debate a lot about Eric Ten Hag making players look good whilst he was at Ajax. But do you think it's because Ajax is just a small fish in a big pond. No disrespect to Ajax, because I know that they had so much history in the Dutch league, and also the talent that they've produced in world football since they've existed. But in terms of the time that Erik ten Hag was there, is it just me, or was Ajax they were the underdog? Ajax was always the underdog. They came into the Champions League as the underdog. They didn't spend a lot of money, but when you look at the Eredivisie and how they competed in the Eredivisie under Erik ten Hag, they had the financial muscles in comparison to the other teams. So they were always running away with the Eredivisie comfortably. When it comes to the Champions League, they were the underdogs in most of those games. That Real Madrid game, be honest, underdog. Spurs game, underdog. I genuinely think that they were the underdog. So it's less pressure when you're the underdog. And yes, he had people balling out. But most of the people that left, and I'm talking about De Jong, I'm talking about De Ligt, I'm talking about Ziyech, etc. Those guys who ended up leaving Ajax went on to win stuff after leaving. So clearly them winning things wasn't their entire bread and butter of their career wasn't off the back of Erik ten Hag and Ajax, because they left Ajax and went on to win stuff. Bayern, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juve would have sacked the manager by now. I actually think, right, when I watch ultras in like the French league, the Italian league, English football could never. Eric's system isn't centered around his player. He puts out a system and forces that system onto the players. His stubbornness is getting the better of him. I agree with this, OJ. I agree. His system is rigid. This is my point. His system is a rigid system. And if you require specific profiles of players to make the system work, then it's a bad system. Look at Pep, for example. Pep has a system, right? Look at Thiago Motta. He's got a system. Inzaghi, they have systems. They don't require specific profiles. Rather, they have the capability of coaching a player to fit the system. It might not always work. Thiago Motta, I would say, is a small sample size right now. Obviously, he's still in his first season at Juve, so I'm not going to be praising him too much. But these are managers that are able to do that. I can't believe Sir Alex Ferguson left at halftime. I didn't know that. I did not know that. I didn't know that. Are you guys sure? I think the administration is just really scared that when they get rid of Ten Hag, they're going to have to move on 10 plus players. This is why I think that this summer in particular, a lot of the people that they were signing was a slap in the face to Erik ten Hag. Not because it was players that he didn't necessarily want. Ugarte, example one. I think that this summer, and I said it throughout the summer transfer window, if you all were watching the streams here, I said that I think this is Ineos's way of saying this is our project and you're just going to deal with the players that we bring you. Because essentially, the best thing for Ineos to do is buy players that, despite who the manager is, they can continue in the system. That is the most important thing. Minna with a Chelsea jersey behind her. No, that's not a Chelsea jersey. Why would I have a Chelsea jersey up? That is a match-worn League One Wigan shirt. I know it's random, innit? But it's a match-worn shirt. That's the only reason why I have it up. But let's talk about yesterday's game. And just kind of highlight what moments kind of stood out the most for me. Lisandro Martinez, man, I don't know what's going on with him. I'm concerned. I said this before the game on, when was it, Friday or Saturday night? I said, for me, Lisandro Martinez is not a leader in the backline. I said this. I said he's erratic. I said he's quite hot-headed. And I said that the biggest thing for me, in the best form and shape that we saw Lisandro Martinez, is when he had a player like Varane next to him. He needs the calm, like he needs to be the fire to the water. You know what I mean? And the water has to be someone calm, someone cool, someone collected, someone with proper IQ and can make the right decisions. Over the last couple games, since the season has started, yeah, I think every game for me, Lisandro Martinez has done a big thing that has stood out to me. I saw it multiple times in the Liverpool game. I saw it in the Palace game. I saw it against Spurs. I think that second goal for me, him just flying into a challenge when he's got two guys to track back, questionable. But even just outside of that, he does this erratic thing where he kind of vacates his position a lot. I don't know if you guys see it. De Ligt is covering so much space in that middle part of the defense. It's absolutely ridiculous. Any other team would capitalize on it. Like if that's Ollie Watkins in that space, if that's even Solanke yesterday, I think he was relatively quiet in comparison to how much more I expected for him to do. Obviously, he got his goal. But with the errors that Manchester United were making defensively, I thought Solanke would have capitalized on that a lot more. I really thought he would have capitalized on it on a lot more. But I'm not concerned that I wouldn't say he needs to be dropped, but I think there needs to be special attention paid to him and the things that he does, because it might not be a costly decision all the time, but in the grand scheme of things, I think there's no room for error. When we speak about the best centre back, in the Premier League, we can't put Lisandro Martinez in there. Let's be honest, guys. Right now, this season, we cannot put Lisandro Martinez in the conversations about the best centre backs. We can't do that. And if any of you guys would do that, I respect you for your bias. Keep it up, because I have to be honest with myself first and foremost before I'm honest with you guys. And I can't put him in there. You look at Gabriel and Saliba. You look at obviously Van Dijk, Konate. You look at even Romero, Van de Ven. Chelsea's backline is a bit questionable to me all the time. But for me, Lisandro Martinez is 1 or 2 steps away from causing issues for Manchester United. And he really needs to reel it in a little bit. Van de Ven was clear yesterday by a mile. Gabriel from Arsenal is top as well. Yeah, I think Gabriel doesn't get enough respect because Dalot usually vacates space, which pulls Licha out to cover. Let me ask you guys a question, though. Why is he out of position? Why is Dalot out of position every single time? Why? It's an instruction. You cannot tell me it's by choice. Nobody can sit here and say to me Dalot is playing like a mindless chicken and he's just running around the pitch and gallivanting up and down. No, he's not doing that. He's being told to do that. He's being told to be advanced. So it all goes back to the tactical system. And this is why I say the tactical system does not only highlight the flaws of that player in that position, but it also highlights the flaws of their teammates. Because, for example, this system right now, 3-2-5, you got Dalot maybe playing as a left winger, right? Because of that, he's now left a heap of space defensively. And because of that, Lisandro Martinez is in 2 minds. Does he stay in the central position and cover that? Or does he go out wide? Then the domino effect from that is now De Ligt has a lot of space to cover. So now he's caught out of position. And then Mazraoui has to make a decision of, do I stay on my guy or do I tuck in? And bam, it's a domino effect. And that is the thing about Erik ten Hag's tactical system. The implications for it is a domino effect. It impacts everyone in the starting 11 every single time. If we look at the goal yesterday, for example, if we were to look at the goal, you would see that, yeah, some of them make stupid decisions where no one brings him down. No, they let Van de Ven run from his half untouched. No one put a foot in. No one dragged his shirt back. Nothing. Simple kind of football decisions to make. They chose not to do it. That's on the player. But equally so, why was everyone so vacant from the right-hand side? That is, for me, the biggest question. When Euro comes back, we'll revert to 3-5-2. New players should get until February and March before judgment. Yeah, it's difficult for me to judge the new players in this system, like the players that United have signed this summer. Big up to Riri in the chat, says Euro got to come back. Martinez is done out here. Let me see what else you guys are saying. It's the system highlights the flaws of players. It's time to change. We saw it with Casemiro. We saw Casemiro, yeah, be ripped apart for his weaknesses. People are doing it now with Manuel Ugarte. Yeah, Manuel Ugarte might not be phenomenal on the ball. I think we all knew that when he was coming into United. We knew that. But equally so, this guy is covering heaps of space. And I said this weeks ago. I said Manuel Ugarte coming in will not change what happens in that midfield. It would not change that. Because it's the system that's a problem to me. See, look, Ugarte, we're signing in club history. We're going off of a small sample size. I'll be honest. I said I never wanted Ugarte. I wanted Zubimendi, and I remember me and KG even had this debate about it. And I said I would much rather have someone who's good on the ball. We don't necessarily need an elite destroyer. But even then, Ugarte wasn't an elite destroyer. And I said this time and time again. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Thanks for Sancho. You're welcome. You're welcome. But just on this is a ridiculous stat to me. Erik ten Hag really might be known as the manager that broke records, you know. Man United conceded 3+ goals in games since Sir Alex Ferguson has retired. 23 from Erik ten Hag, where Manchester United have conceded 3 or more goals. From the top of my head, I'm sure you guys, just like me, I can name so many games off the top of my head. Spurs, Liverpool, Palace, Galatasaray, Copenhagen, Bayern Munich, Liverpool. There's so many games that we can mention. So many games. But you know what is funny to me? Is that Jose Mourinho and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer both played more games than Erik ten Hag and conceded 3+ goals less. Furthermore, even if you combine the number of times Jose and Ole conceded 3+, Erik ten Hag still got more. Erik ten Hag still has more. Jose and Ole have 21 games combined. Do you know how funny that is? And he's done this in more. It's actually 25. So BBC got it wrong. That makes it even worse. Since when was it so normal for United to concede goals in such manner? This manager gets so many chances. He thinks he can get away with poor Premier League performances. The reason why he thinks he can get away with it is because Erik ten Hag comes out press conference and talks about trophies. He's actually lost it. I actually think he's lost it when he comes out and talks about trophies. I don't want to hear about trophies. Tell me why your system is failing. Tell me why your players are suffocating in your system. Tell me why the intensity of the system that you are trying to implement is not going to work in the league. Tell me this stuff. I don't care about trophies. I do not care that you won a Carabao. I don't care that you won an FA Cup. You know what? Pep might be sitting at home laughing right now, thinking, you know what? Me losing that FA Cup was probably, in hindsight, the best thing to happen to the Premier League. Because now every team is waiting. When are we playing United? I had a Chelsea fan say to me, please, I hope United don't sack Ten Hag until we get our turn. And we play them in November, the 3rd of November, I think it is. I have Chelsea fans saying, please don't make sure. I hope Man United don't sack him until we come to Old Trafford. 3 years and the system is still yet to be discovered. I wish we lost against City. You see, saying that is crazy. Saying that I wish we lost against City. I will take the trophy any day of the week, but of course, it's the domino effect of what the trophy entails. Some fans say United have a style of play. What is it? Please make me understand. I don't think. So Alex Ferguson only conceded 3+ goals 22 times, and that's over a span of 26 years. Wow, Fergie was unbelievable. And this is another thing that I don't like. Yeah, when everyone was talking about, oh yeah, but Sir Alex Ferguson was about to lose his job, and then he won the FA Cup, and that turned it around. Bro, Ten Hag is not Sir Alex Ferguson. We will never see another Sir Alex Ferguson in football again. Honestly, that is my hot take. I'm talking about globally in football. We will never see a manager dominate a league the way that Sir Alex Ferguson did, or maybe the Premier League. The Premier League will never see another Sir Alex Ferguson. So all them times when people were saying, oh, I remember someone said to me, if I was around back when Sir Alex Ferguson was going through his stint at United where he was losing and then went on to win the FA Cup, I would have been Sir Alex Ferguson out. And I was like, firstly, I wasn't born then, so I wouldn't have been there. But even so, Sir Alex Ferguson is one of one. He's one of one. And the fact that you can say that he's only conceded 3+ goals 22 times in 26 years, and Erik ten Hag has done that in 2 years and a bit, is ridiculous. Most of that was even. I think most of this 3+ goal stuff under Erik ten Hag, I think most of it has come in the last 12 months. I think it's come in the last 12 months. And just quickly on the red card, because obviously Bruno comes out and does an interview after the game. Apparently he asks to speak to the media. He asks to speak to them. after the game to explain himself and apologize to his teammates and to the fans. But he doesn't. 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 But then he also says in the same breath, it wasn't a red card. I don't care whether it was a red card or not, right? Well, I do care, actually. Let me not say that. But United didn't look like him on the pitch was making a difference anyway. United still looked bad in the first half. Should have been 3-4-0 down at one point. But luckily they had Timo Werner. Bruno, for me, has been a letdown of a captain. I'll be very honest. And the thing is he cannot get away. Bruno cannot get away with things that other people maybe in the league do. Why? Because he's already got this irritable kind of personality. People are already irritated by him. They're already irritated by him and the things that he does in game. So he needs to be careful, be more responsible. And for me, that is just awareness. It's about knowing being aware of how people perceive you. And yesterday, that red card was ridiculous, right? He slips, but why do you kick your leg out? Why do you kick your leg out? No one can say to me it was accidental, because if you watch it in slow motion, if you watch it in real time, guys, he kicked his leg out when he knew he was slipping. So yes, we could say he slipped, but he kicked his leg out. And for me, that's not a captain's performance. And Erik ten Hag, for me, should have benched Bruno. I think if he had benched him coming into this game, it would have made a statement. But the reason why he couldn't bench him is because without him, Erik ten Hag cannot play like this. And shout out to the Athletic for these screenshots. This is what I was talking about. The man-to-man press that Erik ten Hag plays with. It's unrealistic. This is when Bruno was still on the pitch. Right? And Man United were playing a man-to-man press. And even then, it was not working. And so, when Bruno got sent off, Man United continued with a man-to-man press. And for me, that is just unrealistic. This pressed system, this disjointed press that Manchester United are running under Erik ten Hag, it's nearly as bad as the 3-1-6. It's nearly as bad as that. And don't tell me Erik ten Hag needs Mason Mount to execute the press. Don't tell me that, because I've never seen teams that so comfortably pass out of the man-to-man press. I don't know if you guys see it. Palace did it. Brighton did it. FC20 did it. Spurs did it. Liverpool did it with ease. They pass out of it so comfortably. And you know what? When Manchester United have the ball, why is everything quick passing? There's more. When you are not that type of player, when you're not a technically able player, I think there is more room for error when you've got possession. And the fact that Manchester United are just trying to play tiki-taka football, we're not Barcelona to do that. So that is another issue that I have with Manchester United and the way that they're executing the instructions are given, or even just the way that the instructions are set. I don't like it. It's not my cup of tea. We got Porto and Villa to sack Ten Hag. Otherwise, they might as well forget about salvaging our season. Man United are 12th right now. Yeah? Fun fact, guys. United are closer to the relegation zone than they are to top 4. They're closer to relegation than they are to top 4. I think that says a lot. Manchester United have scored 1 goal at Old Trafford all Premier League season. 1 goal at home. But that's acceptable, right? That's acceptable. Just for some context, Luis Diaz got more goals at Old Trafford than Manchester United players do in the Premier League. That's just for some context. Jamie says he can't turn it around. We'll lose to FC Porto and Villa and he'll still be in the dugout, absolutely clueless from Ineos. You know what, guys? A strong part of me agrees with Jamie. I don't think Ineos will pull the trigger. I don't think if he lost to Porto and he lost to Villa, I actually think the final nail in the coffin will be after the international break. Jose Mourinho will be the guy to put the nail in the coffin. He's gonna literally, and he'll probably get happiness from doing it. A part of me does not have faith in Ineos that they will make this decision, because I think a lot of it is the financial implications of the decision. I think that's what they're thinking about. I think they're thinking about things like league position, etc. Man United financially cannot afford to finish outside of Champions League. Manchester United cannot afford to finish outside of Champions League. And Erik ten Hag is not getting us Champions League football. I have no faith that we're going to win the Europa League under Erik ten Hag. I should actually go back, and redo my predictions, because coming into the season, my expectations were third place finish in top 4. I said semis of FA Cup and Europa League final. I should actually go back and say we ain't going to leave Europa League. We'll probably get knocked out FA Cup in the 5th round, and we might finish 9th, 8th if Erik ten Hag stays in the job. I have no faith that Erik ten Hag is going to turn it around. I have no faith that Erik ten Hag will change his system, and I have no faith. The question in the title of this video, guys, is can Man United and Ten Hag turn it around? Do you guys think they will be able to turn it around? Yes or no? Because I'll keep it a buck. I have no faith whatsoever. And whilst you guys answer that question, be sure to hit the like button, guys, and be sure to subscribe as well. It's the road to 10k here. We're not that far off from 7k, so make sure you subscribe. Pinned comment in the chat is I have been nominated for a football content award, best new content creator. So if you click on that and you go to the best new content creator category, you'll see my name, Minute Ibrahim. You can vote for me there, and if you clear your history on your browser, you can vote more than once. If anyone answers, I didn't tell you guys that. So make sure you guys vote as well. Make sure you vote for UV, who is also nominated as well for best club content. Just go through the categories. If there's anyone that you like that you see, vote for them. But make sure you vote for me as well. If you want to join the membership club, you can. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content, and of course, you get to support the growth of the channel here. If you want to support the channel in alternative ways, you can by sending in super chats with your comments, with your questions, with your thoughts, or just to show some love. I'll be live again as well at 8 p.m. for Make United Great Again episode 2 on FC25. So come through. At least we're more guaranteed to win games on there, maybe. I don't know. I'll also be live in about 5 or so minutes. Straight Jacket Podcast episode 300 with Nuruddin, Musa and Saeed on his channel. So make sure you come over there. But my question to you guys is, can Manchester United turn it around under Erik ten Hag? I said no. I said I don't think that they can. I don't have any faith in it. I don't really have any faith in it, unfortunately. No matter what, I don't think I have no faith in the manager. I think if Man United do win a game here or there, it will be down to individual brilliance and the players. But in terms of the system, the style, the manager's substitutions, all of that, I have no faith in him. I've lost every faith that I have in the manager, even if it was a little bit coming into the season. And I just think that this idea that, we can't let the players get away with it again is a rotten argument. It's a rotten argument that does not exist. It's a cop-out. Before it used to be a cop-out by saying it's not the manager, it's the player. Now it's a cop-out by saying it's the players, not the manager. It's, for me, a big cop-out. I think we need to be brutally honest with each other. We need to be respectful to each other's opinions as well, but we need to be brutally honest with each other. And for me, there is no way at all that a group of 20 plus players who are professional footballers can look this bad game in, game out. For me, it's impossible. It is impossible. You cannot tell me, yes, I could say Marcus Rashford's not in form right now. Yes, Bruno Fernandes has been shit. Yeah? Okay, cool. Diogo Dalot does not look good like he did last season. Okay, cool. Lisandro Martinez has lost a step. Okay, cool. But it's impossible for me that 20 plus players are all shit. It's impossible. I'm sorry. I've seen shit teams before, and at least there's been one good player. But for me, Erik ten Hag, he doesn't help it with his substitutions. He doesn't help it with his tactics. He doesn't help it with his post-match comments. He doesn't help it with his pre-match comments. Erik ten Hag sat here and said he's the second best manager in the league since joining because he's won the second most trophies after Pep Guardiola since he's joined. For me, that is somebody that is deaf to anything else that is happening. Like when you close your eyes so that you don't see anything. That is, to me, what Ten Hag has been doing. He's choosing to be hard-headed. And the stubbornness, I said this a year and a bit ago. I said his stubbornness is what's going to get him sacked. The post-match comments always make it worse. Brush, I don't even like to go and read his post-match comments. I don't even like to watch the videos. I don't like to read his quotes because it irritates me. Because it's so tone-deaf. It is so tone-deaf every single time. Yesterday, you're talking about how we had chances. Yesterday, Erik ten Hag said Man United had chances to get a goal back. They had 0 big chances all game. They created 0 big chances, guys, 0. In that same 90 minutes, Spurs had 9. So if they had someone who could finish, it could have been 5, it could have been 6. If it was 6-0, guys, it would have been a bigger meltdown in the fan base. It would have been. Yesterday was bad. I didn't, by the way. I could barely watch anything after the game. What did I end up doing? I watched Power. If any of you watched Ghost Book 2, that's what I just watched. I couldn't watch any content after the game because I was so rattled and I just knew everyone would just lose their head. And one thing I would say, the best time to kind of talk about football is always 24 hours after a loss, because you kind of get the opportunity to put aside your emotions and you get to put aside the emotional aspect of the game, and you get to analyze it with like a clear vision. And that's how I feel today. I just woke up this morning and the first thing I said to myself, imagine waking up, I didn't even read my adkars. I didn't even say Alhamdulillah, Ya Allah, for allowing me to wake up again. Another day, another dollar. The first thing I did when I woke up is, I can't believe Erik ten Hag played a man-to-man press with 10 men. That was my first thought when I woke up. If this is how I'm feeling right now, I cannot survive another season. I can't. I literally can't. We're literally too big to fail. Someone would buy us before bankruptcy. Spurs had 24 shots and 10 on target. Only the shocking finishing from Werner stopped it from being 5 or 6. He was the best player for United. He was the best player for United. We signed a striker that scored 12 goals and wondering why he's not scoring. I mean, people got onto me when I said that we should have... People got onto me in the summer when I was saying United should have signed Ivan Toney. Or they should have went for a Solanke or Ollie Watkins. We knew Solanke was up for sale. People said he wouldn't come to United. But each to their own. Each to their own. You lot heard what Ramadan has said. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well. The manager should go, but I have the same feeling we get when the manager is on his last day. Players just switch off when the going gets tough. Everyone, you know what it is even if the manager gets sacked, people are going to accuse the players of getting the manager sacked. Then they're going to be like, oh, this is the 3rd manager that they've got sacked. Half of these players are his players. Half of these players are his players. That's one thing I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But listen, guys, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. I'm going to redirect us to Saeed's channel because I will be live there in about 2 minutes. Is the stream live? Where is it? It's a special one because it's 300, podcast 300. So don't go anywhere. I'll be back as well on this channel at 8 p.m. FC25 stream. Make United great again. We're going to have to win. I'm going to have to take my anger out on the game. You guys, the stream is already set up as well, so turn on your post notifications. There's a little picture of me on there with Isaac and Yamal, my star boys that I've signed. So make sure you lot come through as well. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. A lot of content coming over the week or so. So make sure you lot turn on your post notifications. The road to 7K, we're nearly there. We're not that far off. I'll catch you guys all on Saeed's channel. And if not, I'll catch you lot all at 8 o'clock for the FC25 stream. I'm out, guys. Hit the like button. Peace.